Alright, so welcome back to Honolulu HeARTbeat. This is season 2, episode 1. So, we've been having a, nice, beautiful conversation with our friend recording artist, music composer, music teacher, painting artist, John Tussey. So, before our break, we've had a great conversation about his new album. It's called Frequencies of Abundance. As well as the rest of his, music catalog, he's composed 17 different music albums, which is, mind-blowing for me. Very prolific. So, we're going to take some time to actually delve into John's work and just listen to some samples. So, without further ado, we want to welcome back John Tussey to Honolulu HeARTbeat.
Hey, thanks, John. The first CD that I'd like to share with you, I'd like to share a sample from the brand new one, Frequencies of Abundance. And let's see. Let's see what the first track sounds like. John, what I like to do is I like to layer several sounds together. Pads are layers of sound, thick layers of sound usually. A pad can sound like strings, and it can sound like other things. What you're hearing here is pad. You hear female Oz.
Yeah.
And it has that angelic,
Very ethereal, yeah.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
And as you know me, I love the ethereal sound.
Exactly. Man of God here.
I love it. So, and there's the piano coming in right there. So the piano is just, it's there, but it's not overpowering.
It's very subtle. Yeah. For me, I love the synth-scape, along with, that ethereal, angelic kind of background. And, when she first started going, it really hit me. And, it was something that, I felt, this is definitely something that, I could play right before bed. Because, again, lifelong insomniac here.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Or, even something, when I get to the office, a lot of us, we spend our days just stuck for an hour on the H1 heading into work. And, anybody who's ever been stuck in traffic, it kind of can get you up a little. And so, something like this is perfect to kind of bring you back down before you start your work day. So,
yeah. I'm thankful that I don't have to deal with that every day, and I'm very thankful. I've dealt with it enough, though.
Yeah.
It's not something that you look forward to, but yeah, I'm thankful that my music can help to bring relaxation.
Definitely,
in that realm.
As a fan of your work for many years, that's the effect that it's had on me.
I appreciate that so much.
So real briefly, again, Frequencies of Abundance is John Tussey's brand new album. You can get it if you go to johntussey.com. Again, that's Juliet Oscar Hotel November, Tango Uniform Sierra Sierra Echo Yankee.com. It will lead you to links on CD Baby as well as iTunes. You can also get physical copies for those of us all fortunate enough to live here in Hawaii. You can contact John Tussey. If you could give people your phone number or email real quick?
Sure. Also, in addition to getting the physical copies from me, they can actually, those tuning in from outside the state and perhaps even different countries, you can go to cdbaby.com, cdbaby.com, and in the search box, type John Tussey, and you'll find 16 CDs there right now. My phone number, if you'd like to contact me, is 497-1512, 497-1512, and it will be nice to talk to you. And there you hear the piano sweeping up and down as a part of the soundscape. A soundscape is, in some cases, a compilation of several different sound types blended together. It could be a number of pads layered, could be pad and string, could be pad and string and ahs and oohs, and piano added to that, like I've done with this, intermittent, bringing the piano in and out. I think this is the end.
Awesome, John. So again, Frequencies of Abundance, there are 11 songs on this album here.
And these 11 tracks, each track has one of the 11 abundant human elements embedded in it. Now, what I mean by 11 abundant human elements is that there are 11 elements from the periodic table that make up 99.45% of the human body. And those are the 11 abundant elements. And they are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, potassium, sodium, and magnesium. So those are the 11 abundant elements. Now, of course, there are other elements. There's iron, there's selenium, there are, there's at least 25 trace elements, more than 25 trace elements. Actually, I bought this bottle of trace elements, liquid trace elements, and I think I read online somewhere where there were 90 trace elements in the bottle. And after I recorded Frequencies of Creation that has 36, which I thought was like, wow, this is the ultimate. And then I find out that there's 90. I don't know if those 90 are all individually named in the periodic table, though.
Sure.
That I don't know. But
that's very interesting. I feel like I'm going back to my high school chemistry class. But, that's pretty cool. Like, I didn't realize that, there were 11 major elements in our body.
Yeah.
And wow, I did not know that. So
that's cool.
That's pretty cool that, you've been able to, learn this particular art of composition that's, led you to, develop these past, what is it now? 7 albums.
With these frequencies embedded. And actually, I'm doing this because, as I shared earlier, a man named David Van Koevering, who's a quantum physicist, a musicologist, an inventor, and a visionary, introduced me to the technology that I use to record these elements in the music with. And he's the one that provided me with information that I needed regarding, the abundant elements, trace elements, and he mentored me, actually, one-on-one. He mentored me over a 5-month period, 5.5-month period, here in Hawaii, over the phone, through email. We had a great time. And it was a life-changing season for me, really. When you spend time with a quantum physicist, you begin to say things and think things
at a different level.
Yeah, in a different, like he used to say, touch someone and say, "You're not always here," because the lifespan of an electron is 20,000 times a nanosecond. So our physical bodies in the quantum realm are flashing in and out of existence so fast, no possible way our eyes can see it.
Right.
And in the realm, in the electromagnetic realm, say the electromagnetic realm is 50 miles long, and we can see like 2 inches of it. Our eye sees 400 to 700 nanometers. There's a lot that we cannot see in the atomic realm. And, just between us, Jonathan, and that computer screen, there are so many atomic and subatomic elements
definitely.
and particles that we cannot see. But, we see what God wanted us to see, the way He created us, 400 to 700 nanometers. We hear 20 to 20,000 hertz. Now, eventually, sound, as it goes higher in range, goes from sound into light.
Sure. And, for those of us who've, studied things such as, metaphysics or whatever, you do learn that, the theory goes that, we are all, vibrating at different frequencies. So those of us here on this earth realm vibrate at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
And, you get into the whole pantheon of, like spiritual beings such as angels, that type of thing. And, they're said to be vibrating at, different frequencies from us, which is why we can see some and, well,
much higher
we can see
frequencies
them, yeah.
Now, it's said that our organs, all of our organs are vibrating at different frequencies. Our cells are vibrating at different frequencies. So we're literally a walking symphony.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? At the subatomic level, everything is a vibrating frequency.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why the frequencies in this music have such a major impact on people, because the cells in the body recognize these frequencies of the periodic table because they were correctly mathematically calculated, checked out by physicists, and then after I started to record them, we started to receive testimonies sometimes that were jaw-dropping amazing. I'm talking
Definitely,
about
John.
physical. We're talking about physical.
Yeah.
We're talking about migraine headaches going away, TMJ pain going away, sciatic pain going away. We're talking about a man with a trapped nerve becoming pain-free and getting off of 10 years of tramadol and getting off of morphine. We're talking about a lady planting a couple of these seeds to her garden, and the next year having huge tomato plants, one of which was 7 feet tall, and a huge crop of squash. We're also talking about a friend of mine named Jackie who had low potassium level. And so her doctor was concerned. She bought the Frequencies of Thought CD, and she started listening to it, and guess what happened? Her potassium level went up to halfway. And so her testimony was she didn't need to take medication. She was just going to listen to Frequencies of Thought.
That's amazing, John.
It is amazing. Now, I just want to make something clear.
Yeah.
I'm sharing testimonies,
but not medical claims.
I'm not making health claims.
Yeah.
Do you know what a health claim is, Jonathan? A health claim is this. You probably already know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
A health claim is this.
Listen to this, and your cancer is going to go away.
That's a health claim.
That's a health claim.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You have it down to a
Yeah.
science. Or
Yeah.
take this pill, or take this supplement,
Yeah.
or drink this special drink, and this is going to happen.
This is going to happen.
That's a
right.
dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll
Yeah.
never hear me say that.
Yeah.
But I will share testimonies from real people that have had experiences.
Yeah.
Will I say that this will happen to everybody that listens to this music? I cannot,
No,
and I will not do it. So,
one thing that I do want to share, though, John, is, for centuries, people have known that music has healing properties.
yeah.
And, that is scientifically proven. There are studies. Music is a universal language.
It is.
Many of our friends out there, they are, they specialize in alternative or complementary healing modalities.
Yes.
A lot of us, may have heard of things such as, gong therapy.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
Oh, well, okay, so there are a lot of, healing modalities out there that is associated with either music or sound.
Right.
So, like for centuries, in the church, but, there's things, like in Europe, there's things like the Gregorian chants. In the Eastern, Tibetan worlds, they too had, their meditative chants. And, part of, that whole process of doing, just the act of producing sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's like, that type of thing, sound does carry healing properties because, I don't think we knew it back then, but based off of, the work that your friend has done,
yeah,
we do know that certain frequencies carries healing properties.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Dr. Royal Rife?
The science now backs it up. I have not. No.
Dr. Royal Rife, in the 1930s, he developed this microscope that could see 60 to 80,000 times. Now, that was way ahead of his time.
Oh.
He then went on to find the frequencies that a number of different sicknesses and diseases vibrated at. And this is all documented information. A lot of people are aware of this. A lot of people all over the world are aware of Dr. Rife's work. And he worked with someone else, and this special machine was made whereby they could project certain frequencies into the body with a carrier frequency. Now, what's interesting is the carrier frequency was a very high frequency that carried these frequencies they were using to blast the sicknesses apart.
Interesting.
So, he had 16 out of 16 cancer patients completely healed from frequency therapy alone.
Yeah.
He learned that he could blast the cancer cells apart without damaging the other cells around it, which was amazing. But the medical community that once embraced him eventually turned against him. He wouldn't sell out to them. And they discredited him, and his work eventually just went into oblivion. But years later, many people became interested in Dr. Rife's work, and it has resurfaced. They have made machines based on his works and past machinery. And some people are using that today. I do not own a Rife machine. I've never used one. And I've never had the opportunity to have one used on me. But I do believe in that technology very much.
John, several years ago, I remember, reading an article and also seeing on YouTube, there's this video about this Japanese researcher in Japan.
Yes.
I forget his name,
Dr.
but
Emoto.
That's the one with the water cells. Yeah. And they blasted certain frequencies, right? Was it similar?
Well, I know one of the things that he did is that he spoke to water.
That's right.
And then took pictures of molecules.
Afterward,
he'd speak hate words and he'd see ugly molecules.
That's right.
He'd speak loving, kind words and see beautiful molecules. And when you think about it, our bodies are at least 70% water.
Right.
So it behooves us to speak loving words, good, affirming, positive words over our bodies, over our lives, because death and life are in the power of the tongue, as it says in the book of Proverbs. So it behooves us. We have the ability to speak life over our bodies and see the results.
The effects.
Yes.
Very interesting stuff.
Which is good health.
Okay, so for those of you who have been tuning in, again, we were talking with recording artist John Tussey. He's recently released his brand new album. It's called, Frequencies of Abundance. So it's on sale now. Go to johntussey.com for your copy. So John has been doing very, very interesting work over the past 5 years now, right?
It's more than 5.5 years.
5.5 years.
Yeah.
Composing music in conjunction with the periodic table of elements as well as healing frequencies. So on our background, we've been listening to some music from his brand new album, again, Frequencies of Abundance. What I'd like to, invite John to do right now is, see if maybe we can showcase some of your earlier work from different albums. That would, we can give our viewers and our listeners a nice sampling of your previous work.
All right, thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I just want to share something. And this might sound a little far out to some it won't. But while you've been listening to us and this music has been playing, these frequencies in the periodic table have been going into not only our cells, but into yours, because it's going through the airwaves and into the places where you listen. And embedded in this music are frequencies of oxygen, carbon, hydrogen. Let's see. This is nitrogen right here. So far we've listened to tracks that have had oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and this one, nitrogen, embedded in it. And some of you might have felt something. Some of you might not have felt anything at all. Nonetheless, the frequencies are still there and still in the atmosphere where you're listening. But let's listen to some other samples right now. And let's see, John. We have 7 CDs here to choose from. I just feel like I want to go to the one just before this,
Sure.
which was released in April. And this one is called Frequencies of DNA. This one won 2 Big Island Music Awards in July. 2. The second award was my surprise. It won in the, I believe it was the inspirational category. And I was also given an award for the amount of sales that I had on CD Baby for the state of Hawaii. And right now I have a #1 in the state of Hawaii. The Solfeggio Frequency CD is #1 in the state.
Wow.
On CD Baby.
That's awesome.
And it has shared that spot for off and on for months, literally. Online, this is my bestseller and has been for quite a while. Solfeggio Frequencies.
That's awesome.
And this CD is 2.5 years old and still my bestseller online. Isn't that something? Okay, and this is my second bestseller, I believe. Well, I have to check on that. But look at this beautiful alcohol ink artwork. Can you see how brilliant and beautiful that is? Wow.
Totally.
Isn't that nice? My friend Mandy Giro from Pennsylvania.
Beautiful color
painted
scheme.
that. Yeah, really nice. Now I'm going to turn this on to track number 6. Here we go. It's probably my favorite track. It's about 9.5 minutes. It's called Oxygen Celestial, embedded with the frequency of oxygen. Some people literally feel like they can breathe easier, or they have a sensation maybe they can't put into words when they expose themselves to the oxygen frequency. It's really interesting. And of course, I always love getting all these testimonies. It's great. It's terrific. So this CD, as I said, won 2 Big Island Music Awards in July of this year. I went over to Hilo to receive them and had a wonderful time. There were a number of well-known Hawaiian artists there at that ceremony, and I just felt really privileged to receive those 2 awards, and I'm going to be submitting Frequencies of Abundance for next year's, and perhaps I should join the Hokus again. The Hara. I was a member 2 different times. Perhaps I should begin submitting to the Hoku Awards and see what happens there. It would be nice to win one of those. We'll see what happens.
Definitely, good luck with that for sure. Okay, so right now we are listening to Frequencies of DNA, right?
Yeah, that one's broken. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry.
not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so real briefly, Frequencies of DNA has 10 tracks on it, and they correspond to the same periodic table of elements that we were talking about with Frequencies of Abundance. So, real briefly, and I love the names you've come up with for these. So, the first half of the CD, the titles of the songs in order are Oxygen Ascending, carbon ascending, hydrogen ascending, nitrogen ascending, and phosphorus ascending. The second half of the album, the track titles are Oxygen Celestial, and then done in that order: Carbon Celestial, Hydrogen Celestial, Nitrogen Celestial, and Phosphorus Celestial. So, very beautiful stuff.
Thank you.
And for those of you, listening in and watching us, you can hear the tracks happening right now. So, Ascending and Celestial, it really kind of takes you to that next realm, the higher realm.
Yeah, I'm really thankful, just really thankful for the music, and I'm always, truthfully, I push the recording button and then I just release the music, it comes out. Most of the time, that's how the music is recorded, in a word, in a spontaneous way. And when I listen back to it, there are times when, wow, I'm just amazed, because it's really a gift from God. It really, really is. And, I can take, I don't want this to sound trite or anything like that, but truthfully, when the music comes like that, you know beyond any doubt that you can't take credit for stuff like that. Like one of my friends says, you can't make this stuff up.
That's true. It's divine inspiration.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you okay for time?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So you wanna maybe switch to the next album?
Sure. I hope you enjoyed this Oxygen Celestial track from Frequencies of DNA. And let's see. Let's listen to something from... Let's see.
Yeah, so while John, gets his next album ready, again, you can find, his music up on his website. Again, JohnTussey.com. So that's Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, November, Tango, Uniform, Sierra, Sarah, Echo, Yankee, JohnTussey.com. You can also find it on CD Baby. Just search for John Tussey, as well as iTunes. So search for John Tussey on there. You'll find his whole catalog of 16 albums. Very prolific composer. I am more than impressed that he's, accumulated such a body of work over time. At this, we've been listening to tracks off of his, two most recent albums, Frequencies of Abundance, and we just heard, Frequencies of DNA. John has been doing, some fascinating, groundbreaking work with composing music based off of the periodic table of elements and the different frequencies. He learned this technique from his physicist friend. What is his name again?
David Van Koevering.
David
Van Koevering.
David Van Koevering?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, David Van Koevering. So the theory that we've kind of been working off of is that each of our internal organs, as well as the illnesses that we suffer from, are all vibrating at certain frequencies.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So for healing, the idea is we can compose music that also vibrates at those same frequencies, which can help us to treat some of our illnesses or to promote health is kind of more the accurate description.
Yeah.
We promote our health by, listening to good things that vibrate at those frequencies that promote health and wellness.
And in this particular case, these frequencies are of the periodic table. And this was the theory that David Van Koevering had when he introduced this to me. His theory was this. These are the frequencies that the body is made out of. And if you put the right frequencies back into the body, they can displace the frequencies of sicknesses and diseases. Another thing that he highly encouraged people to do is to ground the body. And that can simply be done by walking on the beach barefoot, going out with a lawn chair in the yard and putting your feet on the ground for 20 to 30 to 40 minutes. And what grounding the body does is it causes all the wrong frequencies from the body to be drained from your body into the ground. That's why grounding is so important.
John, for a lot of us who've followed health and wellness modalities over the years, we all know things such as meditation. A lot of people out there do yoga. A lot of people do Tai Chi. A lot of us do martial arts. And one of the first things that you're gonna hear any of your teachers say is, it's important to ground yourself.
What do you know?
So,
that's very interesting.
In martial arts, you learn how to do a horse stance. So, that's grounding yourself. If you're doing yoga, most yoga asanas are meant to help you ground yourself. Here in Hawaii, the native Hawaiians grew up as farmers. Okay. That's a central part of the Hawaiian culture.
Yes.
We grew kalo, we grew taro plants. And nowadays, we have the term called therapy, which is kind of a play off of therapy.
Oh, got it.
A lot of people will know the healing properties of working with plants.
Yes, yes.
Plants make you feel well, which is why a lot of people take up gardening as a hobby, because being out in nature, makes you feel well. So, to kind of, going back to what Dr. Van Koevering was saying,
yes.
Grounding yourself in nature. A lot of people are into hiking.
Yeah.
So hiking, is another form of, grounding yourself.
Yeah. Meditation
by being out in nature.
What I didn't share is I use a grounding unit that is plugged into a wall socket that I tested it to see that it was grounded. And the grounding unit has a wrist strap plugged into it. And sometimes I'll put that wrist strap on and sleep with it all night long. And theoretically, this has the same effect as going out, walking on the beach, or going out with putting a lawn chair down and putting your feet on the ground for, however many minutes. It's very important, especially in the day that we live in, with the cell phone waves, the microwaves, all kinds of radio waves and waves that carry TV signals and electromagnetic pulses, not pulses, but signals going over high power lines. We need to have these removed from our bodies. People have been relieved from physical problems after they have gone through a period of time grounding their bodies, because those frequencies from these various devices and different means were causing some disruption in their cellular structure. And the grounding process undid that and helped them to be relieved. Isn't that beautiful?
Totally. It's very beautiful.
It's beautiful. Now, I'm going to play a track from a CD called Frequencies of Thought that was recorded to support the brain in 2013. This one has been very popular, John. People are very interested in good brain support.
Most definitely. A lot of people, especially nowadays, we suffer from things such as, anxiety, depression, hypertension. A lot of us who may be college students, we may have concentration problems. So, frequencies of thought, it's definitely something that, I think definitely can help us with either our concentration issues or, if there's, other issues kind of going on up there. So real quickly, this album, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tracks.
Let me see. This is 11 right here.
Yeah.
Plus 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait a minute. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
11. So, all of these are correlated to the same periodic table of elements. So, some of the track titles here, we have Oxygen Serenity, Calcium Serenity, Potassium Serenity, Magnesium Serenity, Boron Serenity, Copper Serenity.
And that's what we're listening to right now.
Copper?
Copper
Okay.
Serenity.
Zinc Serenity, Silicon Serenity, selenium serenity, iron serenity, and to kind of cap it all off, I'll bring it all together. The final track is called Abundant Element Serenity.
And that contains the abundant elements that we named earlier from the brand new CD that is completely dedicated
Interesting.
to that. And, you know, some of these CDs, well, all of these CDs have oxygen on them. And there's an overlapping of some of the same elements on these CDs. And you say, well, what's the purpose of, getting them all? Well, you don't have to get them all. The CDs, have different purposes. This was for just the brain. But there's more than just brain support there, really. One is for the circulatory system, but there's more than just circulatory system. One is oxygen in nature. One was, the frequencies of DNA, what DNA is made out of. The frequencies of abundance that was dedicated specifically to the abundant frequencies, the human elements. What I need to do at this point, John, is encourage people to listen to the music and take the music as a standalone in addition to the frequencies that are embedded in the music. I believe the music has its own merit and, its own place, its sound, and like I said, the frequencies embedded in the music carry, a great benefit, but the music itself, the beauty of the music, the refreshing of the music, carries its own weight by itself, apart from the frequencies that are embedded. I hope that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, it
So,
does.
yeah. So that's what I have to do, at this point, is encourage people to listen to the music and perhaps even base their decisions on what to purchase, not just on the frequencies themselves, but on the music.
And the beautiful thing is, this day and age, CD Baby, iTunes, you can listen to the sample tracks, which, plays, a specific selection of each tune. Maybe about, 30 seconds worth, a minute?
And
It's
a half.
up to a minute and a half.
It's
Wow.
90 seconds on iTunes now. It used to be 30
It used to be 30 seconds before.
And now, I believe Amazon is still 30 seconds. CD Baby is still 30 seconds. But because they upped the amount of time for the samples on iTunes, I believe it's helping artists to sell more music.
Definitely, wow.
Because 30 seconds doesn't really give people a great snapshot of a piece of music that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Yeah,
minutes long.
that's very true.
If you can listen to a minute and a half of a track, then you've got a good
Feel
grasp
for
of-
how
you've got a good,
that's true.
yeah. I'd like to play a track from one more CD, and that's called Solfeggio Frequencies. And as I shared before, this Solfeggio Frequencies CD, amazingly, after 2.5 years, is #1 in the state of Hawaii on CD Baby, and it still seems to be my best-selling CD online.
Awesome.
This is the only CD that the people in Japan will purchase on Japan iTunes.
That's cool.
The tracks from this CD or the CD itself, and that's been the case for the most part now, for about 2.5 years. Now, can you tell me, is it because of the title? Is it because of the artwork? Do you have any idea why the Japanese would be so attracted to only this CD? I haven't been able to figure it out.
There's power in a name. I'm going to guess it's the name first,
It
and
could
then
be.
probably the cover. Real quick, before we get into the song.
Yeah.
So, again, for those of you who are just, tuning in, whether you're watching us on the internet or listening to our podcast, you're listening to Honolulu HeARTbeat. Here on Honolulu HeARTbeat, we showcase the arts and culture of Honolulu and the people who make it happen. We are talking with our good friend, recording artist, composer, music instructor John Tussey, and we are going over, we're listening to samplings of, the various work he's done on his past 7 albums now, right? Is it 7 albums now? He has 17 that he's done throughout the course of his, long storied music career. But we're focusing on the last 7 albums that have been, written, incorporating the periodic table of the elements, which he learned through his association with his quantum physicist friend, Dr. Van Koevering.
Yes.
So each of these albums are corresponded to a specific periodic table of the element, which has certain vibrations, which allows us to, make our bodies more whole.
Yeah.
Because, each of our internal organs, as well as the diseases that we suffer from, have certain frequencies.
Yeah.
Dr. Van Koevering, through his research, found that if you write music at the same level of frequencies, you can use it to make your body more well.
It's so exciting to be involved in this, John. When David Van Koevering called me that morning in May of 2009 and told me I was going to be recording with Frequencies of the Periodic Table, it was like a dream come true. I'd been listening to him on his teaching CDs for like 7 months, and I sent him a couple of CDs, and he was very taken with the music. And as I said, he called me and told me I was going to be recording with the periodic table of elements frequencies that I heard him teaching about on his teaching CDs, which was, I can't describe how wonderful that was for me. And so, more than 5.5 years ago, I started to do this. And as you'll see in my testimony, there's some really very impressive and amazing testimonies. All glory and thanks be to God. Now, this is called Love is All Around Us. And it's from the Solfeggio Frequencies CD. And
what a beautiful title.
And it starts out with the sound of rain and birds chirping. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sounds like rain, or maybe a waterfall, or a stream.
Okay, you know what I think that is? That's the wind sound ebbing and flowing from inside Honolulu Valley. It sounds like rain because it's rushing through vegetation. And,
just to kind of comment as we get into the music, the thing that I really have loved about John's music over the years is, it incorporates all of these beautiful soundscapes, synthesizers, pianos, nature sounds, and it's great. For me, I love to unwind to this at the end of the day, or if I'm suffering from insomnia, like a lot of us who listen to meditative or soundscape type of music, it's just great. And here in Hawaii, we have one of the premier soundscape artists, and you don't need to go onto Amazon and download soundscapes from elsewhere. We have a very talented local musician who does them.
Thank you so much, John, for your encouraging words. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome, my friend.
Thank you. This song has really touched people's hearts very deeply, and it was one of those spontaneous songs that just came out. As a matter of fact, thinking back, I think this song started to come just maybe a little bit at a time. And what I have found is that perhaps like in this case, you get the beginning of a song, and then you begin to play it, and then the rest of the song comes forth. And then, as you can tell, this has a lot of piano in it. It's also arranged with strings, and you're going to hear probably some nature sound come back in at the end. But this is basically a piano and string arrangement, and I really, really love this song. Called Love is All Around Us, and it's from the Solfeggio Frequencies CD. This also has one of my very, very favorite songs I've recorded called Healing Flow as track number 10. And perhaps we should play a little bit of that one before we go off the air.
Sure. Yeah, okay. We can get to that song.
Okay, so I'm going to fade this one out and let you fill in and talk. And
Again, so we're listening to music off of solfeggio frequencies. So this particular album has 10 tracks, all corresponding to a different frequency level. So
this is Healing Flow. This song was received and composed during. I was waiting for 2 hours for my friend in Media, Pennsylvania, to get his music studio prepared for me to record. It was taking him kind of quite a long time. But during the time he was preparing, I was practicing, I was playing and receiving this song. Now this was in June of 1994. So it was composed and received in Media, Pennsylvania. And to me, this is one of my most special pieces. This is also on YouTube and has over 13,000 hits plays now. And that's a good start, I'd say. Yeah.
I wish I had that type of traffic.
So, I'm thankful, when I see how many others have, which goes way, 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 way higher than that. I like to say that, that's a good start, and I'm thankful, really thankful. So, I hope you enjoy Healing Flow. This song was tuned on this CD. It was tuned to 444 hertz tuning, which contains 528 hertz, 528.1, which in the minds of many is a very significant frequency that carries a very healing type of effect. And so this piece is basically a combination of acoustic piano and electric piano with more of an electric piano heavy effect, plus, as you can hear, strings. And there's something about this song that's very special to me. It's hard to put into words. That's how music is, right? But I hope that you'll go and listen to this. You can find it on YouTube under my name, John Tussey.
Awesome.
Healing Flow.
So Healing Flow on YouTube, look for John Tussey. For more of John Tussey's music, again, you can go to his website, johntussey.com. So that's JOHN, Juliet Oscar Hotel November, Tussey, TUSSEY. So that's Tango Uniform Sierra Sierra Echo Yankee.com, johntussey.com. You can also find his music on CD Baby. Again, just search for John Tussey, as well as iTunes. So again, he has 16 albums for sale. Very prolific local musician. The past seven albums have been his work with the periodic table of elements, using a method that he learned from his good friend, physicist Dr.
David Van
Koevering. Very groundbreaking work. The current album you're listening to is Solfeggio Frequencies, his top-selling album online.
Yeah, even after 2.5 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of his other catalog of work, his newest albums are Frequency of Abundance is just released, brand new album. And then kind of going back to his catalog, we have Frequencies of DNA, Frequencies of Thought, Frequencies of Life, Frequencies of Creation, Frequencies of the Heart, and Frequencies of Oxygen and Nature. So as you can kind of tell from, listening to his music, it's very calm, very soothing, very ethereal. It combines, nice, beautiful soundscapes, piano work, electric piano, regular piano, ambient noises of nature, as well as, ethereal voices. So very beautiful stuff.
And in case the audience might be interested, the primary software synth that I use to record with is called Omnisphere. I've also used piano sounds from Logic, and I've also used, Sonic Synth, perhaps, is another, and possibly Sample Tank. But mostly, most of what you hear is from, except the piano sounds, most of what you hear in the synth sounds, the strings, and the vocal oohs and ahs, all of them, is from Omnisphere, which is an amazing software synthesizer that, for me as a musician and a recording artist that loves to use a variety of sounds and combine sounds and layer sounds, it's like putting a kid in a candy store. It really is.
That's awesome, John.
Yeah.
You're a true musician's musician. So again, we've been talking with John Tussey here on Honolulu HeARTbeat. This is episode 1 of our second season. Again, here on Honolulu HeARTbeat, our goal is to showcase the arts and culture of Honolulu and the people who make it happen. And John Tussey is definitely somebody who helps make the arts and culture of Honolulu go around. He's a music composer, recording artist. We've been talking about his catalog of music that he's done. He's also a music teacher. So if you want to learn the piano, John gives piano lessons. He teaches music theory, and he also teaches music composition. So if you have a song in your heart that you want to learn how to get out there, John is also somebody that can work with you. So John, again, one last time before we sign off, how can folks get a hold of you again?
You can go to www.johntussey.com and click on the Contact John menu item. You can also call me at 808-497-1512. That's 808-497-1512. I do have an email address. That would be johntussey777@gmail.com. johntussey777@gmail.com. Again, John Tussey is spelled JOHNTUSSEY 777@gmail.com.
Awesome. So again, J as in Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, November, Tango Uniform, Sierra, Echo, Yankee, and then 777, like in Las Vegas, 777. Very lucky number here for a very lucky guy. At gmail.com. So, this is going to conclude our debut episode of Season 2 of Honolulu HeARTbeat. Again, we've been talking with our good friend John Tussey, recording artist, music teacher, as well as performance artist, also available for hire. If you are a local artist who wishes to be on a future episode of Honolulu HeARTbeat, feel free to contact us. Go to our Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Honolulu HeARTbeat. Shoot us a message. Again, here on Honolulu HeARTbeat, our goal is to showcase the arts and culture of Honolulu and the people who make it happen. So whether you're an arts organization or an artist in Honolulu, we would love to chat with you. And again, when we say artist, we mean it in the broadest sense of the word. If you're a musician, if you're a writer, if you're an actor, if you are a film director, whatever it is, any type of artist, our goal is to help you get your work out there. Crafters, designers, whatever you are. So let us, we'd be glad to chat with you. You can find our episode archives. So again, we are a cross-media platform, endeavor. So you can find our episode archives as podcast episodes. We are available on iTunes, on SoundCloud, Stitcher, as well as TuneIn. Over the past year, with the transition to live streaming media, we are now transitioning into a Facebook Live format. So
It's great.
We still have the podcast versions as well. So our goal is to get you out there through cross-platform media. So whether you want to watch us live on the internet or listen to us on your MP3 player, whatever it is, that's how we help bring value to the artist community out in Honolulu.
That's terrific.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. John, thank you for having me on the show. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed sharing, and I count it a privilege, to be able to do this. And I want to say thank you. Aloha. Thank you so much. Aloha from... We're today doing this in Kailua, beautiful Kailua. Even though it's raining, it's always beautiful. in Hawaii.
Hey, you know, rain is a ho'ailona in Native Hawaiian culture because water is life.
Yes.
It's life-giving. So the rain is a good thing. It keeps our plants growing.
Yep.
So we can have food.
Yes.
And drinkable water.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so for Honolulu HeARTbeat, I am your host. My name is Jonathan Wong. Again, you can reach us facebook.com/Honolulu HeARTbeat. We'll be back with a future episode. And, till next time, we will say aloha for now. For Honolulu HeARTbeat, aloha and hui ho.